All right, this is a quick video on the lighting situation that I have for my car. Again, I'm not an editor. This is going to be a one-time go at everything. So just bear with me, and if you have any further questions, just drop them in that comment section. So I'm just going to turn the camera around here. This is my current setup. This would be cleaner if you don't have like a 12 volt, or you could just, take this plug and throw it in, the charging port right there, which I could do, but I just wanted to utilize this USB from my dash cam, just to clean it up a little bit. So I took a USB extender, which I will link in the description, because I wanted an angle to kind of just tuck under as quick as possible, instead of something coming straight out and then tucking it back. So I found this on eBay. It was like $8. It came with 2 of them, so that this angle actually comes up instead of running down the opposite side. So I ran this box, the USB, back and under here. Still working on a way to clean this up a little bit more. I don't mind it because everything's black and it really doesn't bother me, especially being on the driver's side. But if it bothers you, then you're just gonna have to get a longer USB extension so that you could tuck this wire under here. And if I find something, I'll look into it, because that would clean it up just a little bit more. But regardless, you're gonna have a couple wires coming down this way, especially if you have a dash cam. So this is where I started it off. I ended up tucking a lot of my wires back up in here and securing them with some cable clips, just like this, just under there. You could see them, but only when you're like looking at this angle. It comes with a box, and that box is a fuse. If you do go ahead and decide to buy this product, I'd recommend buying a few. And the reason I say that is these boxes sometimes make noises, and they'll be like low or high pitched noises. And if that bothers you, just test it out before. Just plug it into a USB outlet, and right away you'll know. If it's making humming and buzzing noises, then just return it. Especially knowing Amazon's return policy, just plug it in, see if it works. I bought 2 of them, and one buzzed, the other one didn't, so I just used the other one. And then I returned, the one that was annoying. That's just what you have to expect with these cheaper products. Anyway, so I took the box. So it has a USB. The box has a USB and then the light source coming off of it. And the light source, I chose to start on the passenger side right here, so I could kind of just keep everything on the passenger side up in here. And then I started to run it up and under, and you could see it here, and just up and under and around and then down. Okay, so that's where obviously this is now on the driver's side. It'll tuck, and then I actually chose to tuck it up and under and secure it with another cable clasp up in here. Okay, so let me come around to the driver's side, pop open the driver door, and excuse this longer video. I just want to kind of cover all of my bases. But essentially I have this running up this way, again secured with these cable clasps, and then this is where it starts. Okay, so ignore this line. This is my dash cam. You won't have that if you don't have a dash cam, or or don't have anything else attached to it. So it is pretty clean. So when it comes up in here, you barely catch it here. And you just get a faint, just kind of ambient light here, obviously, which I like. I don't mind, because it is nice to have a little bit of extra light in the footwell. But again, that doesn't bother me. But if it's gonna bother you, then just take a little piece of black electrical tape in this area and just go, and just literally put it over these lights and it'll block it right out. These are not that bright. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this door open now. The way this is, these lights are, it has like a little tail section here. So this round is the light. This tail section is what slips. And so slips in between the panel gaps. So if you could see right here, this is probably the best instance of where you're gonna be able to see how this, you know, is installed. It starts to slip right in here, and I just followed the panel gaps of the Civic, the natural gaps of the Civic. And because this is soft touch material and this is hard touch, anywhere that there's soft touch meeting up with hard touch, you know, the soft touch will squeeze the tail of the light in. So that's why I just followed all of those type of gaps, because that was going to leave me with the cleanest look. So I started it here, and I just pre-bent the wire. There was someone in the comments that, you know, mentioned a hairdryer. I went ahead and did it, but I was afraid that I was going to damage it. And wherever you kind of damage the wire, everything beyond that doesn't work anymore. So just be very careful. You know, I chose to just heat it up a smidge and then try to pre-bend it as much as I could before it got to the, you know, before I, you know, shoved the tail section in between the panel gaps. So I think it came out a little better than my initial try. However, you know, it's not perfect. So if you're expecting perfection, maybe you can give it a better go. But I like it good enough for this. Plus I didn't want to break anything. So I just followed panel gap, panel gap, panel gap. And again, I really like the honeycomb design. The vents are what stand this car out, in my opinion. So I chose to highlight that. You can choose to run it in a number of different ways, but this is what I chose. So again, just bend here. So a little heat, a little pre-bend before you inevitably, you know, run it up into here. This section here, you know, I chose to hug it as close as I could to, you know, to follow the outside lining here. But you know, you can kind of choose to do it maybe elsewhere. Maybe come down this way. But again, if you come down this way, you lose your panel gap. So just keep that in mind. Up and around, up and down. Again, this is pretty straightforward. It slips right in. This is again a little heat, a little bend, and then coming down into this section. This section, easiest part of the whole gig. Because this is such a long flat surface and it's soft touch matched up, made it up with a hard surface, this will slip right in. You could do this in 10 seconds. You just, once you get it started here, you just drag your finger along and it'll figure it out. It'll find its spot. Then coming back over here, I'll just choose to reach. You know, you could pre-bend it in that tight corner. I like how that came out. And then the soft corner on the bottom, you know, it is a little bit you know, softer, so it does fit right in. Again, we came back on this side. This one came out, I think, okay. I'm happy with the way that this wound up, so I'm gonna leave it. Again, this kind of mirrors what's going on this side. Maybe this side came out just a hair better, but again, it doesn't bother me too much, especially at night. You know, you don't really notice it, and definitely during the day, I think it blends in really well. This interior is so dark that even this copper coloring where the lights are, I don't mind it. I think it adds some personality and some nice touch, actually. So then you got this coming this way, and then I'm gonna go back on the other side and show you kind of, you know, how it mirrors the driver's side. So back over here, we got it to come right down here. Again, fastened up by a couple more cable clips. You could choose to do the black electrical tape if you wanted to over this, if you don't want it to shine. And then you could actually choose, I chose to run it up and under and save a little bit of this light. I mean, it's no more than 6 inches up in here. However, you know, you could choose to cut it, you know, right here. Once you cut this, that's where it'll stop. So it's something I wanted to leave me a little extra, because if I decide to, you know, run more wire, I could choose to do that, but as soon as you cut it, you're done. So if this bothers me, I'm just gonna end up cutting it right here, putting the little nib on the end, and then calling it a day, just securing it with one of these fasteners. But everything else is up and under here. Like I said, I have a lot of that extra wire is from my dash cam when running, but some of it is for the box, and the box is where the fuse is. So I hope this illustrates good enough. This gets you started. I chose to do it this way, but you don't have to follow what I did. You know, that's kind of what's great about it. You can just kind of use this as a base of knowledge and go from there. I was thinking about running the white light through here and around and under here. However, you lose the panel gap up in this corner here. So the way that Honda designed this, it's not easy, and I was trying to cut the wire and manufacture it. It didn't work out. You know, you would have to kind of glue it up in this area, and I didn't want to make any permanent decisions here. So I chose to just cut it and just use it from here. And I still get a little bit of ambient light up in this area, which is nice. But, you know, maybe some people that, you know, are smarter than you can find a way to get it down in here and around and then down on the driver's side. But it was a little bit too challenging for me. So I'll leave it there. Like I said, let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, we'll work on our next project. All right, thanks guys, bye.